Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Cheap as It Gets, sort of. This is Sit, Paint, and Play. As normal, I will give you a list of what I think is best for this army, but I'm also trying to get it to you as cheaply as possible. Personally, I don't think this is one of my best builds. It definitely, I don't think is extremely competitive. I think you could field it, and it might work. But we will see. Honestly, I've personally never played against demons, nor have I ever played Daemons of Chaos. Demons, however you pronounce it. Basically, what I'll do is I'll start you off with 1,000 points, then I'll work up to 1,500, and then I'll go to 2,000. And I ask that you will have to forgive me. I did go over a tad bit on the first two, on the 1,000 and the 1,500. But, I mean, I would assume that most players, whoever they're playing against, isn't going to get too terribly offended. So, hopefully this will go smoothly. Alright, so the first things first, obviously Games Workshop has made this extremely easy for me again. They came out with a begin playing Khorne Daemons starter set. It comes with a Herald of Khorne, blood letters, and it also comes with some blood crushers. So that's definitely the first thing you got to pick up. Then there's also a start playing Daemons nurgle, and that comes with a Herald of Nurgle, some plague bearers, some nurglings, and some plague drones. So those are going to be the first two that you go ahead and pick up. And honestly, that's all you're going to need for the first 1,000 points. It's going to give you 2 HQs, which is going to be the Herald of Nurgle and the Herald of Khorne. The Herald of Khorne is going to have a dedicated transport, which is the chariot that they ride on, and that's the Blood Throne. You throw that on them so that you can allocate the ones to either the chariot or the warlord or the HQ. And then for that guy, I went ahead and on the first time around, I gave them the greater reward and the exalted Lois of wrath. How do you say the L word there? But that gives them hatred special rule. So I thought that was neat. And then the Herald of Nurgle was a little bit more expensive wise. I went ahead and gave him a greater reward, which is Unbreakable Hide. That gives him a 3+ armor save. I went ahead and made him a Psyker level 2, and gave them Rancid Visitation and Stream Corruption. I gave them Locust Contagion, and then Palaquine. And I don't remember what Palaquine does. I'm sorry, guys. But with the Locust Contagion, in close combat, on a roll of a 6, the target takes a Strength 4 AP Poison 4+, so that's awesome. If you get him in close combat, attach him to a troop or whatever. And then with your troops, you're going to have the blood letters. And I really went ahead and min-maxed everything like I always do to kind of make it cheaper on you guys. So with the blood letters, I went ahead and gave them a Blood Reaper. No gift on this one. I gave them an Instrument of Chaos, which allows them to deep strike in. And then also deep strike in someone with them. Like if they successfully deep strike in, then someone gets to deep strike in, so within 6 inches of them successfully. I gave them an Icon of Chaos, and then I also gave them the Banner of Blood, which is once in the game you get to do a 6 plus a D6. Sorry guys, pardon me. Charge. So let's say that you're, well over a certain charge range and you want to add that to your roll. There you go. Get you in there and get you going. So, and then on top of that, if you attach the Herald of Khorne to those guys, then they're going to have that hatred special rule, I believe. Oh, right, the Palaquine for the Herald of Nurgle, that gives his guys feel no pain. So if I'm incorrect about that, please correct me. I'm still learning. The demons have been really complicated for me, especially with all the Psyker rules and special regulations for that. Then to move on to the Plague Bears, I went and didn't gave them a Plague Ridden, an Instrument of Chaos, an Icon of Chaos, and then I give them the Plague Banner, and once per turn during the close combat, I believe, they get Poison 2+. And then on top of that, to get you closer to 1,000, I added an additional 8 Plague Bears. And then I went ahead and onto the Blood Crushers, which is your elites. I went ahead and added a Blood Hunter to those, an Instrument of Chaos, an Icon of Chaos, and then a Banner of Blood. And I don't have the special rules for those, I apologize. Then I went ahead and did the Plague Drones, which are your fast attack, and they have the Plague. I give them a Plague Bringer, an Instrument of Chaos, an Icon of Chaos, the Plague Banner, Venom Sting, which is a Poison 3+, and then the Death Head, which is a weapon of some sort. So all in all, once that's all said, wrapped up, sorry it wasn't pretty, that's going to be 1,016 points, and it originally at Games Workshop prices would cost you $199 in American, but with your 15% off discount stores and online stores, it's only going to cost you $169.15. So hopefully that's the idea. Alright, awesome. That killed our first 1,000 points. I'm going to move on to 1,500. I'm really excited to tell you guys about this list because it's super duper cheap. And it's easy to build, it's easy to paint. You know, the only thing that kills it is it's slightly repetitive, but I mean, if it's cheap and it gets you by and it gives you a good starting base where you can branch off and do other things, that's what the goal is here. Alright, so for 1,500 points, the only thing that you need is a Soul Grinder, which is kind of a must in a Daemons army from what I understand. They are a definite heavy hitter. They can get in there and do good close combat as long as you move them cover to cover. And also, their Flame Bombardment is a barrage, which unfortunately only makes you snap fire everything else. But then they also have the cannon. But I ran the Soul Grinder as a nurgle Soul Grinder because they have 2+ Shroud. So in Ruins, I believe, they have a 3+ cover, so those are awesome, definitely getting them across the field. And then I also added a single squad of basic pink horrors, which is going to give you your shooty capability. The Plague Bearers only have weapons, and the Bloodletters only have close combat weapons as well. On the Bloodletters, as well as the Plague Bears, I gave them a greater reward, and I gave them Hell Gaze, which is a Witchfire shooting psychic attack that you can use during the psychic phase. I figured because they can't shoot, that would give them a little bit of shootability. I also gave the Plague Drones and the Blood Crushers their greater reward because I originally couldn't afford to give it to them, which no big deal. And then one other thing that comes with the Nurgle box set that I haven't yet included is the Nurglings. As far as I know, and by what I've read up on them, they're not totally really that useful. They used to be kind of like a horde type thing where you could deep strike them in and they could get things all tied up and it worked really well. But apparently they've lost a lot of those abilities, so they're not as good anymore. I went ahead and included them because they were free. It was points. I mean, well, it already came with a box set and it was points and you didn't have to buy anything extra. It's just an extra 50 points. Find some way to use them. If you've got an idea of how to use them, leave me a comment below, please. Love to learn, especially with this army. This is an army that I've always wanted to get into, but because of all the extra psychic phase type stuff and all the things that are requiring psychic abilities and things like that, I am still kind of hesitant because I've really only used Marines and a few of the simpler beginning armies to get going. But so just to wrap all that back up, I went ahead and completely kitted out both the getting started Daemons boxes, the Khorne and the Nurgle, so all those guys are 110% kitted out. Everybody's included. I have a Soul Grinder, that's a Nurgle, and I also have a group of basic pink horrors. Sorry, that's the 1500 point portion. And so that is just to get down to 1500 points. That will cost you $193.08 at the 15% discount. Without it, it's $228 for Games Workshop prices. Alright, and here's where it gets not boring, but it pretty much just repeats itself. To get to 2,000 points, you're going to leave the first pink horrors cut and dry, plain and simple, no big deal. Pardon me, guys. Then you're going to add 2 additional sets of pink horrors. Then you're going to add the additional 10 pink horrors to both of those pink horrors. So you have 4 10-man squads added to your already additional 10 pink horrors. So you'll have a total of 50 pink horrors. It's kind of a mob rule thing. You deep strike your man, they just get shooty. It'll be a good time. With those 2 secondary pink horrors that are coming in, so you're going to have the additional 10 pink horrors, the greater horror, whatever he's called, I'm sorry, that I gave them both greater gifts, an instrument of chaos, an icon of chaos, and then I also gave them blasted standard, which is whenever they're shooting, the unit hit suffers an additional 2d6, strength 4, no AP hits. So I figured, that's just extra shots, whether you're facing guard or Tau or a weaker enemy, it allows you to, wipe them out a little bit quicker. So for our first 1,000 points, let me wrap up here, guys. I'm sorry, it was kind of jumbled tonight. For our first 1,000 points, you'll get up to 1,016 points for $169.59 with the 15% off discount. Then for our 1,500 points, you'll get to 1,526 points for $193.80. And see, those were the 2 that I said you'll have to adjust a little bit, or either work with your the person that you're playing against and either get some grace from them or something along those lines. Alright, and finally to the 2,000 points, we're looking at a Game Shop original priced $344 total, but then with the 15% off, it's $292.40, which is about $100 cheaper than what I did with the Tyranids list. So I'm getting better. I'm trying to provide cheaper lists. I'm trying to get better deals for you guys. It definitely also depends on what happens with Games Workshop and where their prices go and stuff like that, and whether those discount stores keep doing what they're doing. Alright guys, sorry this video has been super messy. So for one last final rundown of everything that you're supposed to have. So you got the Nurgle starter box, you got the Khorne starter box, you have the Soul Grinder, you have the additional Plague Bears, and then you have the 5 technically 10-man squads of pink horrors. All in all, I don't think I did that bad. I think I kept it pretty cheap, fairly simple. The paint scheme will be super easy. You only need a couple different paints. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave me a comment below. I am more than willing to learn. I enjoy criticism because it helps you get better as a person and for you to grow, and that's what this game is all about, is growing and learning and being more knowledgeable so you can play the game more smoothly. So, this is Sit, Paint, and Play. Thank you for staying tuned, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I will start working on the next list as soon, probably as this week is over. We'll see. I'm in the middle of midterm right now, so we will see what I can do. Anyways, I will see you guys later, and I hope you had a wonderful weekend. See you soon.